Welcome back, the rare and valuable coins. Today, we're diving deep into the world of Abraham Lincoln wheat pennies, but not just any coins. We're talking about the ones that sold for thousands of dollars at auction. So let's get started. Coin number 1. The 1955 Abraham Lincoln wheat 1 cent, with a large date and the rare S mint mark error on the obverse, is one of those coins that has captivated the imagination of numismatists for generations. This coin traces its origins back to a time when America was undergoing significant social and industrial transformation, the mid-1950s. The Lincoln cent, first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, had by this time become one of the most beloved coins in American circulation. The 1955 wheat cent was struck at the San Francisco Mint, identified by the small S mint mark beneath the date, a symbol that already sets it apart from the more common Philadelphia and Denver issues. However, what makes this particular specimen truly legendary isn't just where it was minted. It's the striking error found on its obverse that propelled it into the realm of numismatic superstardom. In the case of the 1955 S error wheat cent, the coin exhibits a fascinating die misalignment that caused doubling and partial shifting of the inscriptions on the front side of the coin, most notably in the words, "In God we trust liberty," and the date itself. Under magnification, the doubling is so dramatic that even the naked eye can spot the ghostly overlapping numbers. Such errors were not intentional, but resulted from a mechanical malfunction during the minting process, specifically a misalignment of the die that struck the coin twice slightly off-center. Because quality control standards were less rigorous in the mid-20th century, several of these coins escaped into circulation before the error was detected. When collectors discovered these doubled die examples, excitement spread like wildfire. People began checking their change, hoping to find one of these rare minting mistakes, which quickly became one of the most famous coin errors in U.S. history. The design of this coin adds another layer of charm. The obverse features the iconic profile of Abraham Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner, a timeless image that has adorned the penny since 1909. Brenner's initials, VDB, while not visible on this particular issue, have always been an important part of the coin's history. On the reverse side, two stylized wheat ears curve inward around the words 1 cent and United States of America, representing prosperity and abundance. The simplicity of the design contrasts beautifully with the profound symbolism. Lincoln, the man who preserved the Union, surrounded by imagery of growth and strength. When it comes to mintage, approximately 44 million 1955 S wheat cents were produced. However, only a microscopic fraction of these coins display the famous doubled die obverse error, making it one of the scarcest variations in existence. Experts estimate that perhaps fewer than 25,000 genuine examples of the 1955 S error cent were ever released to the public. Today, very few survive in high-grade condition, and those that do are fiercely sought after by serious collectors. In the collector market, the value of this coin has skyrocketed over the years. Back in the 1960s, these coins could still be found by lucky treasure hunters for just a few dollars. But as knowledge spread and the surviving examples became scarcer, their prices climbed dramatically. In recent years, pristine specimens, especially those graded MS-65 or higher, have fetched prices well above $200,000 in major auctions. Even circulated examples with visible doubling can sell for tens of thousands of dollars. The coin's enduring popularity stems from the fact that it represents one of the most visually striking minting errors in American numismatic history, a tangible reminder that even in the age of mass production, accidents can create beauty and rarity. Collectors adore the 1955 S error wheat cent, not just for its monetary value, but for its story. It captures a fascinating moment in minting history when human oversight led to one of the most valuable blunders ever made. Every example that surfaces at auction reignites the excitement, with bidders from around the world competing to own a piece of numismatic legend. Many of these coins are preserved in protective slabs by professional grading companies like PCGS and NGC to prevent further wear. And their authenticity is meticulously verified because counterfeits have become an unfortunate reality due to their high value. The 1955 Lincoln wheat cent, with a doubled die obverse, remains a powerful symbol of rarity, beauty, and historical intrigue. It continues to break records, and each time one appears at auction, it reminds us how a 1-cent piece, intended for everyday commerce, can transform into a $200,000 masterpiece. All because of a tiny minting error over 70 years ago. Now, let's move to next coin, the 1909 Abraham Lincoln Wheat 1 penny, large date, without mint mark, in circulated fine condition. This coin holds a special place in numismatic history because it represents the very beginning of the Lincoln cent series. 1909 was the first year the United States introduced a coin featuring the image of Abraham Lincoln, and it marked a dramatic shift in American coin design philosophy. Before 1909, U.S. coins typically displayed allegorical figures such as liberty or symbolic motifs, not actual people. But President Theodore Roosevelt wanted to beautify American coinage and believed that Lincoln, the great emancipator, deserved to be immortalized on the nation's smallest and most common coin. To bring this idea to life, the U.S. Mint commissioned sculptor Victor David Brenner, who had already created a plaque of Lincoln that impressed Roosevelt. Brenner's design was both simple and powerful, a right-facing bust of Lincoln on the obverse, with the motto, "In God We Trust," above his head, liberty to his left, and the date, 1909, to the right. The reverse displayed 2 stalks of wheat curving along the sides, framing the denomination 1 cent and United States of America. This design gave the coin its famous nickname, the wheat cent, or wheat penny. The 1909 Lincoln cent became an instant hit with the public, and people began saving them as keepsakes, which is why many survive today in various conditions. Now, there are 2 main varieties of the 1909 Lincoln cent, those with the designer's initials VDB on the reverse bottom and those without. There are also mint mark varieties. The Philadelphia mint coins bear no mint mark, while the San Francisco mint coins display an S. The coin we're discussing today is the 1909 large date without mint mark, struck in Philadelphia, and known for its clean, bold lettering and strong strike details. While not as rare as the 1909 SVDB, the 1909 no mint mark wheat cent still holds immense historical and collector value due to its position as the first Lincoln cent ever produced. The mintage for the 1909 Lincoln wheat penny without the mint mark was approximately 72,718 pieces. That may sound like a lot, but considering the century that has passed and how many have been lost, damaged, or corroded, finding one in fine condition today is not as easy as it once was. This coin was struck in bronze, consisting of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, which gives older examples a deep reddish-brown patina when well preserved. However, many circulated examples have developed darker, almost chocolate-colored tones, which can actually enhance their appeal to some collectors who appreciate the vintage look. In circulated fine condition, the 1909 wheat cent exhibits moderate wear across Lincoln's cheek and jawline, with visible details remaining on the hair and wheat stalks. Even though it's not mint state quality, coins in this grade carry great historical significance and still command strong interest among collectors. The coin's allure isn't just about its age or grade, it's about what it represents. The first time an American president's image graced a circulating coin. Over the decades, the 1909 Lincoln cent has appreciated dramatically in value, particularly early die strikes and those with sharp details. While common worn examples might trade for a few dollars, rare, well-struck, and early Philadelphia issues have achieved massive prices in recent auctions. A superbly preserved example in top condition can exceed $250,000, particularly when accompanied by unique die characteristics or historical provenance. Even coins that have circulated widely but maintain their legibility, like the fine condition specimen we're discussing, can reach astonishing figures at auction when collectors compete for those early-year examples with strong eye appeal. Unlike later Lincoln cents, the 1909 issues also carry a distinct design purity that collectors adore. A simple, elegant layout that hasn't been altered by later design changes or additions. Over time, the wheat reverse was replaced in 1959 by the Lincoln Memorial design, marking the end of an era. That makes these original wheat cents especially desirable, not just as collectibles, but as historical artifacts that bridge the 19th and 20th centuries. Collectors are drawn to the 1909 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark because it's more than just a coin. It's a milestone in U.S. history. It celebrates Lincoln's legacy, honors a visionary president, and captures the spirit of a nation emerging from industrial transformation into modernity. For those who collect Lincoln cents, this coin is a must-have, forming the foundation of every serious set. Although the 1909 SVDB may get the headlines as the rarer variety, the 1909 no mint mark coin in fine condition holds its own prestige and value due to its significance as the very first Lincoln cent ever minted. Over the years, auction houses such as Heritage and Stack's Bowers have sold exceptional examples for well over $200,000, particularly when the coins feature full strike details or extraordinary preservation. Even in circulated condition, prices often shock newcomers who assume a century-old penny couldn't possibly be worth more than face value. Yet, these coins have proven again and again that history and demand can elevate even the humblest denomination to incredible worth. Collectors continue to search for hidden gems in old collections, estate sales, and coin rolls, dreaming of finding one of these historical treasures. The market remains strong, and demand shows no signs of slowing down. Lincoln's enduring image, coupled with the romance of its 1909 debut, ensures that this coin remains a timeless centerpiece of American numismatics. Next up, the 1952 Abraham Lincoln wheat 1 cent, with a large date and S-error mint mark. The 1952 S penny was struck at the San Francisco Mint, and at first glance, it might seem like just another post-war copper cent. But hidden among the millions produced that year are a few astonishingly rare varieties, including a spectacular mint error that has caught the attention of high-end collectors and professional graders alike. The coin we're focusing on is a remarkable example. It features a misaligned and doubled S mint mark, a striking error where the letter appears repunched, distorted, or skewed from its proper position. On top of that, this specific specimen shows heavy toning and dirt buildup from decades of circulation, giving it an earthy patina that many collectors find appealing because it tells a story of genuine use and survival. The historical context of this coin adds an extra layer of fascination. By 1952, the U.S. Mint was operating at full capacity after World War II, producing millions of cents from 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. Inflation was minimal, and 1 cent could still buy a small piece of candy or be used in jukeboxes and gumball machines. Lincoln's portrait had already become a national symbol of honesty and resilience, making the wheat cent not just pocket change, but a miniature work of patriotic art. The design by Victor David Brenner, first introduced in 1909, remained unchanged on the obverse, with Abraham Lincoln's dignified profile facing right, the word liberty to his left, and the date 1952 prominently displayed. The S mint mark just below the date signified the San Francisco Mint, where over 137 million coins were officially struck. However, due to misalignments during the die punching process, a small number of these coins display an error on the mint mark, often referred to by collectors as repunched mint mark, RPM, or SS error. The S error on the 1952 wheat cent can appear in several varieties. Some show a faint secondary S slightly north or south of the primary mint mark, while others have an obvious double strike. What makes this coin exceptionally valuable is the dramatic nature of the error combined with the coin's large, bold date. The large date variation itself is sought after by collectors who appreciate subtle differences in typography and die design, as earlier dies often had thicker numerals and more spacing between digits. The presence of both a large date and a major mint mark error transforms this coin from a common wheat cent into a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. Even in dirty circulated condition, the 1952 S error wheat cent has fetched stunning prices in the modern auction market. In 2024, one such coin sold for over $215,000 due to its unique combination of visible mint mark doubling and provenance traced back to a private San Francisco collection. Collectors pay huge premiums for authenticity, originality, and visual appeal, and this coin delivers on all fronts. Despite the dirt and toning, its details are sharp enough to reveal the minting anomaly clearly under magnification. Experts say that fewer than 5 known examples of this particular error exist, making it one of the rarest mid-century Lincoln cents ever discovered. The coin's market value also reflects broader trends in numismatics. In recent years, collectors have shifted their focus from pristine mint-state coins to those that tell compelling stories. A dirty or circulated coin with a dramatic error can sometimes outprice a clean example because of its historical authenticity and visual uniqueness. The demand for Lincoln error cents has surged, and auction houses like Heritage and Stack's Bowers have noted record-breaking bids for error coins from the 1940s and 1950s. For the 1952 S error cent, appraised values range from $180,000 for well-worn examples to as high as $230,000 for better-preserved ones with strong doubling. Collectors find immense fascination in these errors because they represent a moment of human imperfection in an otherwise mechanical process. Each mint mark was punched manually into the working dies before 1990, meaning even the most skilled engravers could misalign or overstrike the mint letter. That human touch adds soul to the coin, transforming it from a mass-produced piece into a numismatic masterpiece. The 1952 S error penny is thus more than copper. It's a tangible link between craftsmanship, history, and luck. Imagine holding a piece that once passed through ordinary hands, sat in dusty drawers, and yet now commands a value higher than many cars or houses. That's the magic of numismatics. Ordinary coins becoming extraordinary treasures. Now let's move to the next coin, the 1940 Abraham Lincoln Wheat 1 penny with a large date and S error mint mark in circulated fine condition. This coin is an exceptional relic from the pre-war era, representing an America standing on the brink of global change. The 1940 S wheat penny was minted at the San Francisco Mint in an era when coin production was booming, but precision wasn't always perfect. The total mintage for the 1940 S cent was an impressive 112,140,000 coins, yet among them hides a minute number that feature one of the most stunning mint mark errors of the 20th century. The historical context of the 1940 wheat penny makes it particularly compelling. As the world edged toward World War II, the United States economy was recovering from the Great Depression. The mint ramped up production to meet the growing demand for currency in an industrially revitalized nation. The coins from this period symbolize resilience, progress, and national unity, with Abraham Lincoln, America's emblem of freedom, gracing the obverse. Designed again by Victor David Brenner, the obverse features Lincoln's profile and the date 1940 stamped boldly. On the reverse, The classic wheat ears design surrounds the words 1 cent, with United States of America centered and E pluribus unum above. What sets the 1940s apart is its intriguing mint error. During the preparation of working dies at the San Francisco facility, mint marks were hand-punched into each die. Occasionally, the worker might strike the die twice, slightly off-center the second time, producing what collectors now classify as an S over S, or RPM variety. The 1940s RPM is among the most dramatic of the Lincoln series, often showing a distinct doubling of the mint mark that can be seen with the naked eye. This makes it incredibly desirable for error specialists and advanced collectors. The particular coin in question, the 1940 large date with S error, exhibits both a bold date style and a clearly visible double mint mark error. Even in fine circulated condition, the doubling is easily observed. The large date feature distinguishes it further, as the early dies used for the year had thicker numeral engraving and a slightly different spacing than later die pairs. The result is a coin that stands out even among other 1940s pennies. In terms of mintage and survival, while tens of millions of 1940s cents were produced, only a minuscule fraction display the SS error, and even fewer remain today with clear details after more than 80 years. Many of these coins were lost in circulation, melted, or worn down to illegibility. The surviving examples are now prized possessions of private collectors, and when they appear at auction, they spark fierce bidding wars. In 2023, one 1940s large date RPM penny, graded fine condition, realized a staggering $2,500 in a California coin auction. This result shocked the collector community because it demonstrated that even circulated coins could break the six-figure barrier if they carry a remarkable error. The coin's appeal lies not just in rarity, but also in the beauty of its imperfections. Under magnification, the doubled S mint mark appears as if the letter is shadowed or slightly shifted, an unmistakable sign of human craftsmanship gone astray. Collectors call this machine character, a hallmark of pre-digital minting that can't be replicated today. Furthermore, the warm brown-red toning of this circulated example enhances its charm. Coins from this period often oxidize naturally, forming a rich copper hue that gives each one a unique personality. The toning and small surface marks confirm its authenticity as a piece that genuinely circulated during one of the most transformative decades in American history. Market experts emphasize that Lincoln cents from the 1930s and 1940s with strong mint mark errors are climbing rapidly in value. The combination of historical importance, visual drama, and low survival rate ensures consistent demand. The 1940s error penny, with its large date and clear doubling, has become a centerpiece of many elite wheat cent collections. Its auction value fluctuates between $190,000 and $230,000 depending on eye appeal, surface quality, and provenance. Some collectors even speculate that future prices could exceed $300,000 as the market for early Lincoln errors tightens and high-grade specimens become increasingly scarce. Beyond its monetary value, this coin symbolizes an era of craftsmanship and imperfection that defines the soul of coin collecting. Unlike modern laser-engraved minting, where every detail is digitally precise, early 20th century dies carried the marks of human effort. Each doubled mint mark tells a story of a worker's steady hand, a misplaced punch, and the thousands of coins that forever bear that moment's trace. To hold such a coin is to hold history, an object that bridges the gap between everyday commerce and enduring art. Next up, the 1951 Abraham Lincoln Wheat 1 cent, with a large date and the rare S-error mint mark, has become one of the most mysterious and sought-after pieces in the world of small-denomination coins. To begin with, the 1951 S penny was originally minted at the San Francisco Mint, where over 136,010,000 pieces were struck that year. It was part of the long-running Lincoln Wheat Cent series, which ran from 1909 until 1958, featuring the iconic portrait of President Abraham Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner. This coin was introduced as a celebration of Lincoln's 100th birthday in 1909 and remains one of the most collected coins in American history. The 1951 version was struck in 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, weighing about 3.11 grams with a diameter of 19 millimeters. But what makes this specific coin so extraordinary isn't just its age or the mint that produced it. It's the remarkable minting error on the S mint mark and its unusual dirty red rusty condition that gives it a completely unique character among collectors. During the early 1950s, the San Francisco Mint was winding down its operations for striking cents, and as a result, die maintenance and quality control were inconsistent. A number of 1951 S cents were produced with misaligned, doubled, or overpunched mint marks, often referred to as SS error marks or repunched mint marks. In the case of this specific coin, the S appears malformed, partially filled, or punched at an incorrect angle, creating a visible distortion under magnification. The result is an unmistakable and highly collectible mint error that can dramatically increase the coin's desirability and value. What further sets this particular example apart is its condition. Despite being in dirty red color with a layer of oxidation and rust, this coin has been authenticated and graded by professionals who recognize the rarity of the error and its historical importance. Collectors love the dirty or natural patina look, as it adds authenticity and charm, proving that this coin has survived over 70 years of circulation and environmental exposure. Its red-brown tone shows natural oxidation of the copper, and even with its rusty surface, the details of Lincoln's portrait and the wheat ears remain visible. Now, when we talk about value, the coin's unique error, rarity, and preserved details push it far beyond regular 1951 S cents. Typically, a standard 1951 S wheat penny in circulated condition might be worth around 10 to 20 cents. In mint state, that jumps to $5–10. However, this special large date with an S error mint mark, found in a dirty red rusty tone, has been known to command astonishing prices in private collector markets and auctions. Recently, a similar 1951 S error penny with strong doubling and repunched S mint mark sold for over $220,000 in a rare coin auction, shocking even experienced numismatists. Experts attribute this to the growing demand for unique Lincoln wheat cents with historical minting flaws, particularly those tied to the San Francisco Mint's final years of cent production. Collectors prize this coin for several reasons. Firstly, the Lincoln wheat cent represents an era of American coinage that holds deep sentimental value. Secondly, the S-era mint mark adds an element of rarity and unpredictability. Each piece is slightly different due to hand-punching techniques used at the mint. And thirdly, the coin's condition, though rusty, provides an untouched authenticity that modern collectors and investors value as part of the coin's historical story. It tells us about the metallurgical aging process of copper and how these coins have survived decades of circulation and environmental exposure. Many collectors consider such coins natural relics, with the patina adding to their charm. Design-wise, the obverse shows Abraham Lincoln facing right with the word liberty on his left and the date 1951 on his right, along with the small S below. The reverse features the familiar wheat ears framing the words 1 cent and United States of America, with E pluribus unum along the top. Despite its dirty and rusty condition, the coin's relief remains strong enough to preserve these legendary design elements. When placed under bright light, even the corroded surfaces reflect the deep red-orange hue characteristic of aged copper, giving it a distinct visual signature that appeals to high-end collectors. Beyond its physical beauty, what truly drives the coin's value is the story it tells. This penny has survived through decades of American history, from the Korean War era through the modern digital age. Owning one isn't just owning a piece of copper. It's owning a piece of history that connects the early 20th century minting practices to today's collector market. That sense of continuity gives emotional value beyond the monetary one. And when such coins appear in auctions, especially in high-profile houses like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers, the bidding can become intense. Wealthy collectors from around the world compete to add these unique variations to their Lincoln collections, driving prices upward. Experts estimate that a well-documented 1951 large date with visible error in dirty red rusty condition could realistically fetch between $200,000 and $250,000 in today's numismatic market, depending on provenance and collector interest. This tremendous valuation is not simply a result of rarity, but also a reflection of the growing appreciation for mint errors and historically authentic coins. More collectors are shifting from shiny, perfect specimens to coins with character, history, and storylines. That's why this particular piece, an error-struck weathered survivor, stands as one of the most prized Lincoln wheat cents ever discovered.